If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Your support helps us share more amazing stories. It was supposed to be just another ordinary Saturday evening. The kind of evening where the house feels like a safe little world, cut off from the noise outside. I had tidied up, poured myself a warm cup of tea, and curled into the sofa, ready to savor a few precious moments of peace. The house was unusually quiet. My partner was still in the kitchen, humming softly as the aroma of dinner lingered in the air. The kids were out with friends, leaving the place almost unnervingly still. For a moment, everything seemed perfect, almost too perfect. But then there it was. That faint, uneasy sensation creeping at the edges of my mind. You know that feeling when something's off, but you can't quite explain why. The air felt heavier than usual, and somewhere deep down, I just knew. This night would not remain ordinary. In recent weeks, I had noticed small, unsettling changes in him. My partner wasn't the same. His phone never left his hand. His expressions were sharper, more distant. He smiled at messages I never got to see. He frowned at things he didn't share. At first, I convinced myself it was nothing, just work stress, maybe the pressure of daily life. But those tiny signs, the things he thought I didn't notice, piled up. A sigh here, a nervous twitch there. He was hiding something. And as I sat sipping my tea that night, I heard it. A sound. Faint, rhythmic, deliberate. Coming from upstairs. I froze. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe it was the wind rattling against a loose window, or the old pipes groaning like they sometimes did. But then it came again. Slow. Measured. Not random. My eyes darted to the hallway, and that's when I noticed it. Liam's door. Slightly ajar. It should have been shut. Always was. But not tonight. My heart thudded against my chest. I told myself to ignore it, to respect his space, but another voice inside me whispered, "Go look." And so with every step, the house grew quieter. Shadows stretched across the walls, swallowing me in their silence. My hand hovered over the doorknob, trembling with hesitation. Because deep down I knew, whatever I found behind that door would change everything. I pushed it open. Just slightly. The soft glow of a lamp spilled across the room. My eyes adjusted, scanning the shadows until they landed on him. Liam. What I saw in that moment froze me to the floor. He was caught in something deeply private, something I was never meant to witness. Shock surged through me, sharp and undeniable. My breath caught in my throat. For a second, I wanted to slam the door shut and pretend I hadn't seen a thing. But I didn't. I stayed. And in that pause, the air between us thickened with tension, silent, heavy, electric. Then it happened. He looked up. Our eyes met. And in that single glance, the fragile barrier of secrecy shattered. His face burned with fear, embarrassment, and desperation. Mine? A storm of emotions I could barely contain. Shock, confusion, even curiosity I hated myself for feeling. Neither of us spoke. The room seemed to shrink around us, trapping us in a silence that felt louder than any scream. Until finally, he whispered, "I didn't mean for you to see that." His words tumbled out in broken fragments. Excuses. Apologies. Explanations that made no sense. I didn't think. It's not what it looks like. But I wasn't angry. Not yet. What I felt was more complicated. A knot of betrayal mixed with a strange, unsettling urge to understand. Why? Why here? Why now? I remembered every moment of trust, every late-night conversation we'd had, every time I thought I knew him. And now, that trust cracked under the weight of this discovery. Finally, after stumbling through half-sentences, he said it. I feel invisible. Like I don't matter. Like nothing I do is enough. Loneliness. That's the word that broke me. Because I knew that feeling. I had carried it myself, quietly, buried beneath daily routines, smiles, and laughter. I knew what it meant to feel unseen. Even in a crowded room. He wasn't just confessing. He was pleading. For understanding. For connection. For someone to listen. And against my better judgment, against every rule and boundary I thought I had, I listened. I whispered back, almost before realizing I'd spoken. You're not the only one who feels this way. That sentence changed everything. His eyes widened, relief, curiosity, hope flickering all at once. The room grew heavier, as though the walls themselves leaned in to hear what would happen next. I should have left. I should have drawn a line, shut the door, walked away. But I didn't. Instead, I stayed. Because deep down I understood. And the truth was, I was just as hungry for connection as he was. That we sat in silence. Not the comfortable kind. The kind that presses against your chest, suffocating, demanding answers. He fidgeted nervously. I steadied my breath. And slowly, carefully, I placed a hand on his arm. Not to cross a line, but to let him know he wasn't alone. You matter, I said softly. Even if it doesn't feel like it. His eyes glistened. For the first time, I saw him not as someone who had betrayed my trust, but as someone broken, human, vulnerable. And maybe, just maybe, I saw myself too. Later that night, the house was quiet again. Too quiet. I wandered from room to room, haunted by what had just happened. My mind replayed it endlessly. The look in his eyes, the crack in his voice, the rawness of his confession. Helping someone in their most vulnerable moment is powerful. But it's dangerous too. Because when loneliness meets loneliness, when brokenness meets brokenness, lines blur. And that night, they blurred. Forever. What would you have done in my place? Would you have walked away the moment you saw too much? Or would you have stayed to listen, risking everything? Comment below. I want to hear your thoughts.